didn't it go down?
Trivia question over 3 rounds, escalating difficulty. At the end of the game, the highest scoring challenger will face the highest scoring mastermind in the ultimate trivia challenge for $10,000.
Good.
If a challenger wins, they get to come back to compete again. And if a challenger wins 3 times, they will be crowned a mastermind and potentially take the place of one of our masterminds on this stage.
Welcome back.
In round 1, there are 7 subjects, each with a corresponding question. All challengers and masterminds will play. Correct answers are worth 100 points.
Yeah,
Good luck, team.
that's why.
The first subject is cuisine. Named for a French author and states traditional
Mastermind.
for preparing
What
what type
the?
of meat?
You don't want to look at that stuff, do you? Hopefully, no.
Correct answer is
Yeah, right. For more than a few reasons. Yeah. All right.
mastermind. Yes, 100 points across the board. Second favorite this time.
Here, check out some of these
The next
apps.
subject is
Here. All right.
mine. Chile's El Teniente
Chile.
is the world's largest underground mine for what ore prized for its conductivity? Platinum, copper, or iron? Everyone's watched. The correct answer is copper. How'd we do, guys? Yeah! 100 points across the board. And for our mastermind, same. Well done. If I were going to make electrical wires, I'd make them out of copper.
El Teniente means for lieutenant.
Oh, nice. I like that little piece of trivia. Uh-oh, so serious. He's on a roll. Here we go. The next subject is travel. On opening day in 1955, a one-day adult admission to Disneyland cost how much? $1.
For him to be president.
No academic, Biden appeals to Americans on their terms. His age is a concern for some, but after 4 chaotic years, Americans may see in his experience a dry, flat stone to cross the dangerous rapids. All right, let's bring Rosemary Barton back in here because I have to wonder, Rosie, that
it's like a beehive. They never stop working. But we are told, as long as we've been here, I mean, they just never stop moving, as I'm saying.
what would a Biden presidency look like? On the Biden column, what are they saying? Well, I mean, first of all, let's start with the
To make that very clear, the Trump campaign has filed a lawsuit saying that in one county here in Georgia, that they spotted 53 absentee ballots that came after the
back in 2016 for a state dinner, sat down
Right.
with Indigenous leaders and premiers and talked so warmly about the relationship between Canada and the U.S. So that's a good thing, obviously, because you're starting off on the right footing. Policy-wise, I would note that Joe Biden tweeted today that today is the day that the United States officially left the Paris Climate Agreement. That is something that Joe Biden says he will get the United States back into. He has promised the same net zero emissions by 2050 that Canada has as a goal. He's promised to convene global leaders within the first 100 days to talk about climate change. These are all progressive ideas that the Liberal government has embraced, has run on, and wants to promote as well. There are, though, hiccups. We've talked about them. Keystone XL, it is not clear that that project will go ahead. Biden has said he would cancel the permit that Donald Trump had granted. We know that he has large-scale procurement projects in the United States where he would only want products to be used. So I think the problems are possibly more predictable, possibly more surmountable. And the fact that Joe Biden as well would want the United States to return to multilateral organizations in a real way, NATO, the UN, those two, all sort of familiar things for this government and things that Canada would want to see the United States do. All right, Rosie, thanks very much. So these are some of the considerations in the Biden column. Next, we're going to change gears and focus on Donald Trump, what his past history looks like. America will decide right after. COVID cases are on the rise, and CBC News has the tools to help you understand what's happening. Check the COVID-19 tracker. Use the coronavirus app, and download the CBC News app. CBC is your information source.
Pure Health from Green Shield Canada.
Not saying too much. Am I all right?
Not covered by your government health insurance. Like prescription drugs, dental and vision care,
Am I all right?
therapists, chiropractors, and more. Expenses that could cost you thousands of dollars a year. The answer is Sure Health from GSC. Sure Health plans protect you from healthcare costs not covered by your government health insurance, including prescription drugs, dental care, vision care, physiotherapists, chiropractors, online mental health therapy, and more. And if someone in your family has a serious accident or illness, Sure Health covers those expenses too. For most Sure Health plans, your acceptance is guaranteed, with no health exam and no medical questions when you apply. And it's affordable. Protect your health and your finances.
Not
Call
ever.
1-844-470-7873
Use our
or go
son,
to
bro.
surehealth.ca now for your free, no-obligation Sure Health brochure.
Our great country is just waiting to be explored. Whatever road you take, make sure your tires are ready to get you there safely. Right now at Midas, buy 3 select tires and get the 4th one free. Find your tires at Midas.com.
Hello again, Canada. At Pizza Hut, when you buy a
I always
satisfying
found that
satisfying
deal
medium pizza,
funny.
you get this for $5,
Well,
this
better
for
than-
$5, and this for surprise $5. Pizza Hut. Now that's delivering.
Before the first time you look into her eyes, the first, am I ready for this? Those first mornings, or the first sigh of relief, there's first response. The first pregnancy test to let you know 6 days sooner.
Hi, Kurt Browning here, and I'm back. You see, I've stayed in touch with Home Equity Bank, and I've talked to some of their clients. They've been able to access tax-free cash. Yes, tax-free. For election, then we'll see how it plays out. We'll just let the process play itself out. But you know, it's 2.8%. Savannah, the suburbs around Savannah, and you see Joe Biden doing 58% of the vote, round that up, 41 for the president, and here as well. Just a short time ago here. So you have that 122,000 statewide, about half of them in the Atlanta metro area, a couple thousand to come out of here at least as we count them up. And so where do you get? 39,811. Again, in most elections, you'd see that 95%, and you would think, well, if they split them at about this rate, you know, the president would eke it out. But knowing what we know about what has happened since midnight last night, that was 372,000. They were last night. These mail-in ballots are overwhelmingly going for Joe Biden. So we will see. I'm fascinated to see what we get out of Fulton County, what happens in DeKalb to the east of Fulton County, Gwinnett here. As we get these votes, we will see the stabilizers for the president. But again, we're focusing right now on Arizona and Nevada because the map of those 2 states, if Joe Biden wins them, gets him to 270, gets him to the finish line. They're not done yet. So if you're Joe Biden, and you could have a backup plan, if you will, right here in Georgia, that would be remarkable, which is why, if yes, we're focusing on Arizona and Nevada because of that obvious map. It gets them to 270. A plan B would be pretty good at this moment in time. The president, there's nothing left the president can afford to lose. The president, he has to pick up Arizona still or Nevada, and he has to hold that, or we have game over.
We're about to get a whole lot of ballots. The results coming in from Georgia. We'll see that 39,000 vote lead. We'll find how it unfolds. The suspense is also out of Arizona, in addition to Georgia, as new ballot totals are about to drop there as well. We'll share it with you when we come back.
A great future awaits us.
This place is dangerous.
I have this idea of the perfect life.
People are worth saving!
They're here. That means a test is coming.
Look, Leo, someone out there needs help customizing their car insurance with Liberty Mutual, so they only pay for what they need. False alarm. Only pay for what you need. Liberty, 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 liberty.
WeatherTech floor liners for mom and dad.
Shrinking over the last few hours because the votes that have been coming in have skewed towards Joe Biden. But Biden is running out of runway in Georgia. We're down to the last 2% of votes. I was looking at the counties where those votes are coming from. Yes, some are overwhelmingly Democrat, but some are also very strong Republicans. So that one is not probably able to.
So, Krish, what did you say?
I said sibilance.
Sibilance. Ken?
I also said sibilance.
Sibilance is the correct answer. Sibilance? That is correct. Both sibilant and sibilance are acceptable. For $200. Congratulations. And 200 points for Ken. The next subject is in the Gospel of John, who is raised from the dead after being entombed for 4 days? Muffy and Sunkrish. Sunkrish, what did you say?
Obviously.
Jesus.
Question mark?
Yeah.
Muffy? Next of Lazarus? Lazarus? The correct answer is Lazarus. Sorry, Sunkrish. Muffy, 200 points for you.
3 days, 4 days. Long weekend.
The next subject is opera.
100%.
In the name of the operatic character Cho-Cho-san, the Japanese word chocho refers to what type of insect? All right, Jay and Jonathan, first to lock in. Jay, you buzzed in so quickly there. What did you say?
I said butterfly.
Butterfly. Jonathan, what did you say?
I also said butterfly.
Butterfly. The correct answer is butterfly. Good job. 200 points for you, Jay, and 200 points for Jonathan as well. It's time for the final question of this round. Now, this question is worth 400 points. This will determine who moves on to the next round. Here's your final subject. Anatomy. What joint in the human body contains the medial malleolus? Ken and Sunkrish. Sunkrish, what did you say?
I said ankle.
Ankle. Ken, what did you say?
I also said ankle.
Ankle is the correct answer for 400 points. Ankle. And Linda will be moving on to the next round. Thank you so much for playing, Jay. And Ken, 400 points for you as well. That means for our masterminds, it's going to be Ken and Jonathan. Thank you, Muffy, for playing. When we come back, it's Challenger versus Challenger and Mastermind versus Mastermind to determine who will compete in the Ultimate Trivia Challenge for $10,000 or Mastermind after this.
This holiday season, celebrate the magic of home with help from Ashley Home Store. Get up to 50% off, plus get an additional 10% off, or get 0% interest for 6 years during the Black Friday sale. Ashley Home Store. This is home.
I'm Erin.
And I'm Margot.
We've always done things our own way.
Charted our own paths.
I wasn't going to just back down from moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis.
Psoriatic arthritis wasn't going to change who I am.
When I learned that my joint pain could mean permanent joint damage, I asked about Enbrel. Enbrel helps relieve joint pain and helps stop permanent joint damage.
Plus, Enbrel helps skin get clearer in psoriatic arthritis. Ask your doctor about Enbrel so you can get back to your true self. Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections. Serious, sometimes fatal events, including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have had hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness. Don't start Enbrel if you have an infection like the flu. Visit Enbrel.com to see how your joint damage could progress. Enbrel. Eligible patients may pay as little as $5 per month.
I'm craving.
Wings. Frigidaire's range lets you air fry right in your oven. It's all the flavor, none of the guilt.
So good.
That's using your Frigidaire.
The best way to get the new large 3-topping $10 Tastemaker is also the easiest. With contactless curbside pickup, let us know when you're here without ever leaving the safety of your car. No one outpizzas the Hut.
Knock, knock. Your Nutrisystem delivery is here with a month of delicious meals, satisfying snacks, plus probiotic shakes to help support your immunity. Delivered.
Dead air, dead
Order
air.
now and get a week of shakes free. Say hello to Nutrisystem.
Say something. Let the people know you're there.
Made healthier. Act now to get your month of
Alright.
meals delivered free. Go online or call 888-974-FIT5. Save 50% on a month of meals delivered.
Reason is because Donald Trump really did so well with Hispanic voters. He increased his share of that vote, of the voting power. Florida, than he did in 2016.
Yes, you did. All right, Kelly and Krish, thanks very much again.
Thank you.
All right, so declaring victory one moment, launching lawsuits the next. This all fits in with a lifelong pattern of
contradictions and confidence from Donald Trump. Here is his story in about a minute.
I'm an extremely stable genius.
Donald Trump is challenging. The self-proclaimed self-made man who built his empire through inherited money. A financial elite who strategically courts the working class. Who before entering politics was basically a political agnostic. In many ways, a living embodiment of a classic New York stereotype, both admired and despised. Brash, fearless, arrogant, rich, powerful. Despite decades-old questions about his actual wealth and business ability.
I owe billions and billions of dollars, but I have billions and billions of assets.
Still, whether by bank bailout or self-described determination, he weathered it all. As he did his many first-term legal challenges, governing more by instinct than reason, and utterly dominating a Republican Party once horrified by his very candidacy.
Thank you very much.
Whether Donald Trump is a cause or a symptom of America's divisions, he has had a profound impact in a time of growing doubt and instability. All right, let's go back to Rosie. So we talked about Joe Biden and what a Biden presidency would look like. What about a second term for Donald Trump? What does that mean for Canada? Well, I mean, let's start with the fact that, again, on the relationship part of this, the personality clashes that have happened between the Prime Minister and the President, starting when the President came for the only time to Canada, to the G7 in La Malbaie in Quebec, when they clashed because the President had put tariffs on Canada's steel. The Prime Minister struck back at the President. The President then called the Prime Minister dishonest. So, I mean, that gives you a sense of how the relationship has gone. They have come to be professional and manage it as best they can. But the unpredictable nature of how, for instance, Donald Trump handles trade has been extremely challenging for this country. Putting tariffs on steel and aluminum, it's possible. His trade representative has said that those aluminum tariffs will come back after the election were he to win. And I would just end as well that his foreign policy, or his foreign policy approach to some countries, for instance China, has also made Canada's life extremely difficult. We know, of course, Michael Kovrig and Spavor are still being detained by the Chinese, and the way the United States has attacked China has sort of created a vacuum into which China has moved into power and made it very difficult to have a multilateral force of strength against China. So again, lots of challenges, but there too, the challenges are well known to this government and to Canada. All right, Rosie, thanks very much. Same time, same place tomorrow, shall we say? Okay. All right. All right. Let's have another look at that count. 253 electoral college votes for Joe Biden, 214 for Donald Trump. That count has not changed this hour. It might next. What happens next is anything but clear. So after the break, let's cut to the noise. What are the next steps in that legal battle for the White House? Special coverage continues right after this.
Guys, are you stretching it out over here?
I'm gonna do one hand behind my back.
You should. All right, masterminds, same rules apply. Let's put 60 seconds on the clock. And your time starts now. 500 points, often used in home decor. Granite is classified as which of the three basic types of rock? Jonathan.
Igneous.
Correct. 600 points. Who is the current Duke of Cornwall? Jonathan.
William.
Nope. 10. Time, Prince Charles, 700 points. Mathematically speaking, how much is 10 to the 6th power? 10?
$1 million.
Correct. 800 points. Accepted as canon by food historians, Chef Henry Lowe invented the egg roll in what country? Jonathan.
United States.
Correct. 900 points. Although she only served for 24 hours, Rebecca Latimer Felton was the first woman to hold what federal office? 10.
Senator?
Correct. 1,000 points. Thanks to a 16th century law, which vehicles in Venice must be black? Jonathan. Correct. 1,100 points. The fourth action of the Hokey Pokey dances.
Watch and learn.
10. No, Jonathan.
Parting is such sweet joy.